Our initial thought when we created the look at what we, first of all, we wanted to make a big impression. I think it's important when you do a stand at the fair, it has to look good from far, but it also has to look good in detail and in close-up. So in the beginning we worked out of our, we do usually when we work, we have 3D modeling programs and where you can really zoom in and zoom out. So you could see that you have this kind of, it has to vibrate from both from a distance and it has to vibrate when you look at it close. But the thing we really wanted to do was to create this beautiful space with the archetype objects that would lure the visitor into this and to actually get them to touch and feel the material and to when you see hands walking and touching a wall, then you know that you've done something right.
When choosing the materials, the Tarkett range is so wide. It was difficult to start with, but we kind of zoomed in on this HO, the homogeneous plastics, which is not maybe seen many times as a design material or a aesthetically pleasing material. It's used more for the functionality of it. But we kind of liked it from start, actually, and the more we looked at it, the more beautiful it became. So we used that, worked perfectly to building these shapes, these 3D surfaces that we wanted to make. Normally we put a lot of effort into the colors. We select really carefully, and this time we didn't want to go one of these, classic pastiche on Scandinavian design, because the brief said that okay, we should do a Scandinavian design stand, and we did, but we did it in our own way, and we wanted to use these saturated, kind of toned down colors that's intense in one way but also calm in another way. So it was a balance between this blue, green, the terracotta, the reddish, and we wanted to make a complex yet beautiful selection of colors.
So it was very important also to supply something that would be interesting for the architectural or the interior designers to actually look. And then we thought that we use a lot of material to explore this kind of space, but it was also very important to have the archetype exploration in terms of shapes and volumes and objects. So we have tried to do different, for example, where we dress like a corrugated steel, like it's called a sinus steel metal plate. Usually you place it on roofs for big barns or industrial buildings, and we covered this beautiful sinus curve in a plastic vinyl material, and the result is fantastic. And it also gives life to the product, but it also creates something with the overall architectural feeling of the space. So we said we have to bring the material closer to the visitor, and one quite easy way to do this is it's with a stair. As an archetype object and architectural element, stairs they signal growth, and they signal some kind of a movement in dimension and moving forward upwards. So, and when you start placing the stair in this material, you also get the material closer to your hands for the touch and feel, and it gets closer to your eyes, so you can see it really from another angle. You get to explore the material, not only looking down, but looking close, and you can sit on it, and you can touch it, and you can really feel it with your hands.
The collaboration with Tarkett has been it's been really pleasing, actually. High standards. Our client has been really brave. We try to be brave all the time, but it's not always that the client dares to take the next step. And in this case, I think they really did, and that makes a good end result.